you get cured only 50% through medicines. The balance 50% you have to make up yourself, your mind. Say that I must get all right. I had a heart problem. Once during work, I had a serious pain in the chest and the heart, and so I was rushed to the hospital, and we were all booked. A group of us were booked for going to Dubai. So the doctor came on the first, and he said, saying that tomorrow we are going to go for an angioplast. Before that, I told the doctor, I'm going on 11th. So if this angioplast is going to come in the way of that, then I would like to postpone this angioplast to a later date. And he agreed, and he said, don't worry, go and come, it will be all right.
Were you not scared, that you can, why would you postpone that?
I believe strongly says that jo hona hoega ho. Mere karne se kuch nahi hona ho raha. But at the same time, 1 minute.
Yeah.
At the same time, I would also suggest, don't ignore your health.
Absolutely.
Take care of it, be cautious, but don't get worked up because of that.
Many years ago, somebody very wise, in fact, Naval Ravikant, he's very well regarded in Silicon Valley. He had asked this simple question, and his question was like this: how come you're so smart and not happy? And it really stumped me back then. And it's taken me in a very different path since those years.
When you are happy, you start forgetting your problems. And when you start forgetting your problems, that is possibly the way for success for you.
It's also very wisely said that wherever your focus goes, energy flows. So if your focus is in that pain, it'll go there. If your focus is on the happiness, it'll go there. So you choose where you want to put that. But a lot of psychological accidents are happening any day with a lot of people, right? And that pain is caused. So when you have that, what is going in your mind? What feelings are you getting at that time?
See, at that point of time when I had that accident, the thing which struck me was that I'm in any case finished. I said, somewhere else I have to save my pillion rider.
Oh, in that moment you're still thinking about the pillion?
About the pillion rider.
That's amazing, yeah.
Luckily, when I fell down, I found that I was all right. I took him to the hospital, got him bandaged, took him home, and nothing happened to me. For a second, I thought that I'm all right. That's what I thought.
But then it came back. In this video, I'm in conversation with Mr. S. Gopalakrishnan, who is the former Executive Director of BHEL. And I became very curious to learn his journey. Back at 27 years, he had a massive accident where AIIMS doctors told him that his legs would have to be amputated, and he was bedridden for 10 months. From that incident, 40 plus years hence, he not only walks 6 to 7 kilometers daily, but he rose up to become the Executive Director of BHEL, advisor to the chairman, and many such wonderful achievements. Most importantly, I was very curious to hear his perspective on how he has progressed his career and work for professionals like yourself, and also how he has integrated mind and health in this journey, where he has successfully and beautifully progressed. I hope you find value in this conversation, and this is Nitin Dua, serving you with love. For people who don't know, if I'm okay to share, he lost his complete sensation in the nerves back then, and even today, it's gotten back to 50%. It's improved. You can walk, but it's not fully 100% there yet. And I think you're restricted to eat only a few certain of items that you can consume. You cannot consume all the items, but you have not let that come in the way of how you operate and how you choose to act.
I can take 4 or 5 vegetables.
Yeah.
One is potato. One is batata, one is aloo, and fourth they call it urlakaranga in our language.
Do you know why that is? I'm curious.
I don't know. I'm not able to find out.
Okay.
See, the basic issue is that now that I have lost, after facing so much of pain in my life, I have lost that basic interest to go to a doctor, sit and find out. I hate going to a doctor now. I don't like to go to a doctor because I firmly believe, which a few doctors have supported me, I firmly believe saying that you get cured only 50% through medicines. The balance 50% you have to make up yourself, your mind. Say that I must get all right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not possible to get it. 100% cure through a medicine, if you feel that you can get it, I don't think you can get it. You might get some temporary relief out of it, but not permanently.
From my experience also, I can say when I had my own health issues, what really got me is definitely professional help is wonderful, but unless you take charge, that,
I have to be all right.
About it, yeah. You have to move on that path, and of course,
I have another interesting incident which happened about 2 years back. If I may allowed to.
Yeah, please share that.
I had a heart problem.
Okay.
Once during walk, I had a serious pain in the chest and the heart, and so I was rushed to the hospital. That was, I think, on the 31st of July, 2024. And we were all booked, a group of us were booked for going to Dubai on the 11th of August.
Okay.
So the doctor came on the 1st and he said, saying that after the angiograph, he said, saying that tomorrow we are going to go for an angioplast.
Okay.
And mine was a slightly longer period. It took about nearly 2 hours to do that. Before that, I told the doctor, I'm going on 11th. So if this angioplast is going to come in the way of that, then I would like to postpone this angioplast to a later date. He started laughing. I said, no, there's no question of laughing. I am going. I have to go.
Yeah.
And he agreed. And on third morning, I was after him saying that today evening I must get discharged. The angioplast took place on 2nd. On third morning, I was after him saying that I must get discharged. And I got discharged on 3rd. And he said, don't worry, go and come, it will be all right.
Yeah.
Of course, because I was confident I have a number of people to take care of me. I was very confident about it.
Yeah. Were you not scared, that you can, why would you postpone that? Just curious, to understand, what goes in the mind. Were you not curious? Were you not scared?
No, I'm never worried about it. I believe strongly, say that जो होना होएगा वो. मेरे करने से कुछ नहीं होना हो रहा. And let me be happy. But at the same time, 1 minute.
Yeah.
At the same time, I would also suggest, don't ignore your health.
Absolutely.
Take care of it, be cautious, but don't get worked up because of that. That's all.
We'll get into that, what do you mean by that. And certainly for me also, health is the foundational layer. Once that is in place, you can actually go and do and unleash the potential that has been given to you, like you have in your case. And we'll go into that also. But what I was just trying to describe on happiness front, I remember many years ago, somebody very wise, in fact, Naval Ravikant, he's very well regarded in Silicon Valley, a billionaire, has made multiple companies, invested in multiple companies, investor of Uber, AngelList, founder of that. He'd asked this simple question, and I came across this question maybe in a podcast that he did or a book. And this question was like this: how come you're so smart and not happy? And it really stumped me back then. And it's taken me in a very different path since those years. And I definitely feel like being happy. In fact, one of our previous companies where our mission was to make people happy and healthy has gotten listed last week. So it's like when we say the pursuit of happiness, it's like directly choosing to be happy is a much shorter path every single time than pursuing it. Our team requested to share this with you. Our data suggests that many of you who have been watching our videos have still not subscribed. Some of you have reached out to me to know when the next video comes out. May I request you to please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notified when the next video goes out. By subscribing, you also become part of our mission empowering professionals, helping progress in the careers, integrating health and mind and fulfillment. Please share this with someone who may find value in this. But I wanted to hear your perspective on what was growing up like for you that shaped up you to this point. And importantly, when you had this massive accident, right? What was going in your mind back then? If you can recall, what was the feeling like when this happened?
See, first of all, I agree with Dr. Ravikant saying that happiness. I would like to put it the other way. When you are happy, you start forgetting your problems. And when you start forgetting your problems, that is possibly the way for success for you. Face the problems, but don't make it an issue out of it.
Yeah.
Have the confidence that you can get over it. That self-confidence is very much essential.
100%.
And that will help you to get over your problems also. That is why in the house also, we try our best not to talk about anybody's sickness. We don't get worried. Oh, take a sickness, we'll go to the doctor and come back. That's all.
That's lovely.
The minute you are in bed, you start feeling sick. It's not required. As I said, that medicines can cure you only by this. I have BP problems, I have got sugar problems. I've got spondylitis. But these I treated, okay, these are all elite sickness. If it doesn't come, that means you're too small a man. These are anachi. It's a
Well, I beg to differ on that slightly.
Take care. I'm saying take care. Like I have BP, I'm taking BP medicines. I have sugar, I'm taking sugar medicines. I have spondylitis, I'm doing the exercise for spondylitis, but don't get overtly anxious about it. That is all I'm saying.
That is true. 100%.
Because anxiety tightens your nerves.
100%.
And that leads to more problems.
Yeah. It's also very wisely said that wherever your focus goes, energy flows. So if your focus is in that pain, it'll go there. If your focus is on the happiness, it'll go there. So you choose where you want to put that focus.
And mind you, I'm not telling you only from the house perspective. In the office, I had a reputation of keeping the atmosphere very light with my juniors. The first and foremost thing is that I never behaved like a boss.
Okay.
All these things I learned after my problems, what I faced.
Sure.
Never behave like a boss. The standing instruction to my peers was, my boys in this office will not take an appointment from me. They will just gate crash into my room whenever they want. And this I adopted. And when there was a success, we had to go in for a lot of global tendering. And when there was a success in the tenders, I used to take my people along with me to the chairman to tell him, saying that yes, we have won this tender, and ask them to explain everything to the chairman rather than my own telling him everything.
Yeah,
so that gave them the confidence. So they got more involved in the work.
Yeah,
and एक loss अगर हो गया तो ठीक है यार, एक loss हो गया कोई बात नहीं, it's okay. We'll do it in the next one. So basically the idea was to keep the atmosphere light. So no, everybody was very free with me, so they could come out openly with everything. That was one advantage this was my way of handling it. Maybe it was right, it was wrong, but yeah, it was like that.
No, it's clearly worked. It's a great sign of leadership where you, of course, the accountability is there with the team, but they are also brought to the chairman for most important milestones. Because ultimately, that's how a leader should be, I also feel, right?
Yeah.
So wonderfully doing that. But I want to just double down on, for a moment, just to go and understand what was going in your mind when you had that accident, if you don't mind sharing. And what was the feeling back then?
When I had that
accident, because it's easy for us to talk about it now, but the person, when he's in that pain and in that uncertainty, in that shock almost, nobody planned. By the way, it was like when you described it, the thela being there is like, you can't predict that, right? And frankly, it should not be there in the first place. Why is the thela with the cylinders on the highway? It shouldn't be there, but it was there. And then you bumped into it with the slamming of the brakes. So this happened. And none of it was planned, none of it was predicted. You got engaged just a few months before that. You were also in your early professional career, 2-3 years in. And this happens, right? And just like any day, right? You are doing regular activities, planning a movie, getting late for it. You're not prepared for any of this. So I want to just go back, and this is a very natural situation that happens. May not be the actual massive accident like this, but a lot of psychological accidents are happening any day with a lot of people, right? And that pain is caused. So when you have that, what is going in your mind? What is going in your, what feelings are you getting at that time? Are you able to recall?
See, at that point of time when I had that accident, the thing which struck me was that I'm in any case finished. Well, I was just about 2 feet away from the tela. I know, and I was riding there, just. I said, somehow I have to save my pillion rider.
Pillion rider?
Yeah.
Oh, in that moment, you're still thinking about the pillion rider?
About the pillion rider.
That's amazing, yeah.
And luckily, when I fell down, I found that I was all right. In a sense, my leg got stuck up. See, my only problem was my leg got stuck up, that's all. And I had to pull my leg out because of the heat.
Yeah.
Motorcycle heat. That was the time when I realized saying that yes, and because I was able to get up and then put him on my shoulder and then take him to the office gate. And luckily it happened outside my factory gate.
So you have fallen down, you've thought about him, you've gotten him on the back, you've gotten him to the factory.
Factory gate, got an ambulance from the hospital. I took him to the hospital, got him bandaged, took him home, and nothing happened to me. For a second, I thought that I am all right. It was a miracle that I escaped the problem. That's what I thought.
But then it came back after 10 months.
After 6 months, it came back.
Got it. So when that happened, from that moment, and maybe the 10 months journey, because you were not able to walk, you were on bed by that time, and then you had to shift your offices, as you said. Doctors telling you all kinds of things. From there to tearing the note saying that declare me fit. How did you get to that mental space, and how did you get to that space which has taken you to progress in your career this far? Because a lot of people, especially a lot of professionals watching this, right? Growth is something that everybody is striving for, along with happiness, right? Progress comes. You have achieved that progress in different spheres of your life, including your career. So how have you approached from that juncture to 40 years later? Can you walk us through that journey? What does that look like for you?
See, I used to have regular pains, and I never went to a